Basically, this is a web app that we would use to aggregate all the messages, mostly errors, coming from all of our websites. So whenever there's an error on TKO or KFTV, we get email about it. Instead, what would happen from today onwards would be that there's an API built for this, so you can push a message to this web app and it would log it. Now, if it's the first time this sort of error or message happened since the last in the last 2 hours, then it would send you an email. So for another 2 hours, you wouldn't receive any more emails of that type from the project. Period. We wanted to basically avoid the hundreds of messages that we get whenever a database goes down, and we get spammed for every person to come in and encounter the error. So that's the point. We also wanted to make a mobile app. We aimed quite high and wanted to do Objective-C native iPhone app, which I tasked myself with, but sadly I spent the whole first day just messing about with Objective-C and not getting anywhere. It seemed just a bit too steep of a challenge for me. There's a lot new of it, obviously, for me, so I learned some things, but didn't end up with anything that I could really show. So I abandoned the idea of Objective-C app and jumped into jQuery mobile app that we would then make native through PhoneGap. Although at the last minute, it turns out the API didn't work quite the way I expected. So the most of what we have to show right now is basically this web app that was mostly done by Paul, Neil and Harry in terms of the HTML. So they all jumped into the front end, whereas Ben created the basics of the web app backend yesterday, and I finished it off today. So a lot of these things are slightly hard-coded, but for example, these error messages are pulled live from the data on TKO. And then we have an admin page where you can edit each project, specify the URL, and later we want to do a chosen staff field, so you can assign individual people to projects so that not everyone gets the same messages. For example, I might be only interested in KFTV, whereas Neil might be interested in something else. So that's mostly it. The parts that we've done is the jQuery mobile app, which failed at the very end. There's email sent once for every report, every 2 hours. There's a weekly email ready to be sent out if we set up the cron job. So a weekly email just gives you a report of everything that's been done, that's happened in the last 7 days. And we have an API that we can hook up all of our projects to start sending messages about successful cron jobs or emails sent or just plain PHP errors to this.
And the BI dashboard can connect to the API.
Yes.
One of the things that's nice is the responsiveness.
Oh yeah. Neil.
I wanted to learn.
How is it?
Click that. You have to click over that one.
Click.
No, so you don't
Use one finger.
just one finger.
Okay.
I've never used Twitter Bootstrap before, so I wanted to use that and use the responsive design, which really a bit of media queries.